Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and the other morning on one of my morning e-bike rides, I was going to ride my bike along the canal road where I crashed my e-bike and dislocated my shoulder. But as I got to the corner where I actually turned onto that, there was this huge mound of dirt on the other side of the canal, which I had never seen before. I didn't notice it before anyway. And I thought, I'll have to check that out because they're doing something over there, I thought. And so on this morning here, which was actually this morning, I rode my e-bike over to the park where I've taken off before. And this time, instead of going south, I'm going to go north. And there's Superstition Mountain over there in the distance. And this unpopulated area that we're looking at here, beyond these houses, that's the Queen Creek. I guess you could call it the Queen Creek Wash. The Queen Creek it takes care of the floods from flash floods, and sometimes the winter snow piles up over on the Superstition Mountains, and then as it melts, it really comes down through that creek. And I've always been you can do a search on my channel for Queen Creek, and I don't know how many videos I've got on it, but it kind of intrigues me because normally there's no water in it. So here I am. I'm now over the road, the little canal road where I crashed my e-bike, and so I'm going to see if I can find the spot where I crashed the e-bike. And I promised in a previous video that I would tell some more stories about when we moved into the house near downtown Seattle, which was really, it was really in town because it was about a 20-minute walk to the middle of downtown. And so you can see that I looked the wrong way because that's just a road over there. So we're going to turn around and go along this canal and see if we can find that spot. So anyway, it was moving day, and my dad worked for United Airlines, and they loaned him a Metro van, which is kind of like a UPS truck, and they use it out there on the airstrip at the airport. And so they loaned it to him, and I remember I really thought it was fun because both side doors were open. He had a guy helping him. I don't remember his name, Richard or something. Anyway, and he would always stand up. We made several trips that day. He would always stand up in front of near the right-hand door. And my dad, of course, was driving. And then I sat on a little step in between them. And then I just thought it was so much fun to see all that stuff going by outside. Maybe that's why eventually I got into motorcycles. I don't know. Anyway, so had a bug crawling on my arm or something there. So I know that this spot right here, it was a blank spot, there were trees missing there in the upper part of the picture, and that's how it was when I crashed my e-bike. And you can see down there in that path, it looks like it's still kind of worn out, and there's ruts there. I think that's probably where I crashed my e-bike. So now we found that. So back to the story, we went back and forth moving furniture over from the house out in the woods to the new house, and it was a nice house, 2-story, lots of bedrooms, and and that was good because my grandma and grandpa and my Aunt Janice, my Aunt Chloe, my mom and dad, and me and 3 other kids lived there. So. All right, now this is what I was interested in when I came around that corner. In the upper left-hand corner of the picture, that's where I come around the corner following the canals, and that's where I saw this mound of dirt. And so I thought, what is going on there? And so this is what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, actually, but this is where you can see it's fresh roads and stuff that have been made by a tractor. And then they come up here, and then they got a cut going right across as you can see, look up there at the canal up above there. There's 4 little black dots. that's where the Queen Creek comes through when it's flooding, and it comes down that little canal there, and a little channel, I guess you'd say, and it comes in, as you'll see when we turn around here. It comes in, and it looks like they're just planning on having it fill that little vacant spot up. I'm going to come back again and take off closer to this side and see what they're doing, because that you can see where the canal or the water just rushes down into that, and and why they are piling up dirt here and out further out, I don't know. I would just keep an eye on it from time to time. I like this stuff. Maybe you do too. I don't know. Anyway, so one of the things that I really liked about moving into town, because I had a bicycle. I got it when I was 6, and we moved into town, I think, when I was 9 years old. So the only place I could ride, I'm being bugged by a bug, so I keep moving around here. Anyway, the only place I could ride was on dirt or grass, and I tried riding on the road out in front of our house, but it was hills up and down and up and down, and I have a story about that somewhere in my history. But anyway, so it was nice to get into town where there's sidewalks and streets, and I could explore, and I just had a lot of fun. And one thing I learned was there are gangs in where we had moved. And one day I was just riding my bike on the sidewalk, and these two guys were coming from the opposite direction, and so they each guy got on one side, grabbed my handlebars, lifted the bike up, and dumped me onto the sidewalk, and kept walking. So that's the kind of neighborhood it was. And then also I rode my bike to school, and that made it much easier. And then eventually I had to walk with my little sister, though. But anyway, I rode my bike, and there was one day, I don't know, it was one of the days when I had a brain block or something. And I always rode back home at lunchtime because we had plenty of time. And so, but at recess on that particular day, I was anxious to get home, I guess, because I was pushing my bicycle across the playground, and all the kids were saying, "Where are you going? Why you got your bicycle?" And I thought, well, I was thinking it was lunchtime, and I thought, I'm going home, and so they'd ask me, and I'm going home. And so I got on the bike, and I rode out of the playground, because you're not supposed to be playing with your bike during the recess. But I rode out of the playground, and I got maybe a block away, and I thought, wait a minute, this isn't lunchtime. So then I turned around and hurried back, and I spent the whole 10-minute recess, whatever it was, pushing my bike across the playground. So anyway, that's one of the things that I remember. It's like I was absent-minded. And now right there, that's where the Queen Creek goes underneath the main road, and it goes on down that concrete canal. And then we used to live about 3 miles down that direction, and right in the middle of the top of the screen, you can see there's an unpopulated section there. That's the Queen Creek Wash, which I used to love to fly my drones down in there, as long as I had object avoidance. So anyway, back to the stories here. Just one more thing. As I lived there, I learned more about the gangs, and they learned more about me. And so some of them were friendly to me, and some of them weren't. Somebody stole my little brother's bicycle, and some of my friends, I guess you could say maybe in our gang, some of my friends found out who did it, and they went down, and the guy was already trying to paint it a different color with a paintbrush. And so whatever they did, they got my brother's bicycle back. It was brand new, and didn't look brand new after that. So that was kind of a sad part of it. But I learned a lot about living in the city that year, and I really enjoyed riding my bike. In fact, they had I was on Capitol Hill, and there's a park called Volunteer Park. and that was a really cool place to ride to. It wasn't too far from my house, and so I spent a lot of time there. And I guess if I can remember, next time I tell a story, I'll tell you about Volunteer Park up on Capitol Hill. In the meantime, it looks like I'm going to fly back home here, get on my bike and ride the bicycle or ride the e-bike back home. I want to thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.